Oh, did I just burp on camera? Hey, everybody, come in here. I got to tell you a little secret. Come on. More people, jump on this. You can play it back later if you want to hear what I had to say, in case you miss it. So I just blogged, and I just tweeted my blog about Trump's birther announcement. And here's what I want you to look for. Here's the secret, okay? In my blog, I said that the interesting thing will be how the media and the pundits deal with the Ted Cruz question, because the Ted Cruz birtherism had to be racism if the Obama stuff was. Now, forget about reality. Forget about the fact that there are actual racists in the world, and that the actual racist, I'm sure, did use the birther movement to get more of what they want, which is less Obama, I guess. It didn't work, but that's what they were trying to do. So every politician who has an opponent uses every lever that they have available, and this was another example of that. So the media is going to have to make this weird, tortured kind of argument that the Ted Cruz situation was not racist when Trump said that he was born in Canada, but asking the same question about Obama is racist because he's black. Now, again, I'm not saying that there are not racists in the birther movement, because clearly there are. I'm just saying that when the media tries to explain it today, their heads are going to explode because it doesn't pass just even any surface logic test. In other words, while they might be right that the birther thing has a racial component to it, and I think that's clear, the only way you know that is by reading people's minds, because there's no data to support that, except that there's a correlation between the birthers and racists. But you can't tell what's in people's minds. You can only just look at the Canadian Ted Cruz situation and the Kenyan Obama situation and say, it's the same guy, Trump, accusing them of the same fucking thing, that they were born in another country. One guy's white, one guy's black. So how do you explain the racism thing? So here's why this is going to be fun. Because I put that out there now in my blog, that the Ted Cruz thing is the thing they're going to have to explain, there's enough of the media who read my blog that question will work its way into the conversation. It'll take half a day or so. So that's what you want to watch for. Watch for the Ted Cruz mentions, that it will happen probably by tonight, and watch the heads explode when Ted Cruz's name gets mentioned. Because anybody who's trying to make the racist case, just picture this situation, right? Because you know this is going to happen, and it's going to happen tonight. Probably happen a bunch of times tonight on the news. The birther thing's going to come up, an anti-Trumper is going to say, blah, blah, birther is racism. Someone else is going to say, can you walk us through how the Ted Cruz thing isn't? Just walk us through that. Explain why it's racist for, to have a birther thing about Obama, but it's not racist when you did exactly the same thing against Ted Cruz in Canada. So rather than just say, no, it's not. All right, so here's the fun part. Let's hope this happens. If somebody comes on, and they will, and say, the birther thing that Trump did was racist, or a racist dog whistle, that doesn't mean they're wrong. Obviously there is racists involved with the birther movement. Not all of them, but plenty of racists, enough to be worried, right? So if you simply say, hey, he also said this about Ted Cruz, that's a real good point, and one they'd have to grapple with, but it won't be nearly as effective as if you put it in the form of a question. And here's how you put it in the form of a question that's just diabolical. And I'm going to fucking die if I see somebody do this, because it'll be the funniest thing you see on television in months. If you're on the other side, let's say you're pro-Trump, and you're on a panel tonight, and somebody says, blah, blah, birtherism racist, and don't say, Don't just answer and say, blah, Ted Cruz, same situation, which is what I'm doing. Go one level more clever, and say, well, you said similar things about Ted Cruz. Can you walk us through how those are different? So instead of saying they're different, just say, yeah, I hear what you're saying about the Obama birther situation, but walk us through your thinking of how that's different from the Ted Cruz Canadian thing. Just explain that to us, please. Funniest thing you'll ever see. Because cognitive dissonance pretty much guarantees that people will try to add logic to that situation, but it just doesn't exist. All right? Now, again, I'm not saying that the birther thing wasn't racist. I'm just saying that if somebody on television is in that situation where they have to explain why it's different from the Canadian Ted Cruz thing, they're going to be in a world of trouble because there's just no way to do it. All right, so there are enough people watching this Periscope that idea is going to hit Twitter. Already has, I'm sure, and the media is going to see it. And how do they not ask that question? All right, if you're a Trump surrogate, that's the way you do it. You say, walk me through how this is different. Just show me your thinking. I gotta go. This is a fun day.